Hi friends, it's Tuesday, March 15th. I want to thank you all for joining us. We just had our first in-person meeting at the dais and the Board of Supervisors board meeting, so that was kind of fun. It's the first one since we've been elected, so it was good. I mean, we had the Sergeant at Arms and no one recognized me or Supervisor Scott because we were new and they didn't recognize us. I thought that was kind of funny. And because I was walking into the conference room and the Sergeant at Arms says, "So who are you with?" I'm like, "With District 5. And who are you?" I'm like, "I am the supervisor." "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." So I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, so I wanted to thank Roxanne Begay-James, the Director of Native American Student Services in Tucson Unified School District, for joining us to read the land acknowledgement. We're having a little bit of technical issues, but I'm so glad that she was able to read it. And also thank you for joining us on your spring break. I appreciate it, because right now is TUSD, Sunnyside, I believe most school districts, it's their spring break right now. We had two proclamations, one for Autism Acceptance Month and the other from the American Red Cross Month. So those were nice. Agenda item number 8, we had a lot of really sort of pro forma ones, but I wanted to thank Tucson Electric Power. There was an approval for an easement and they were undergrounding. So I wanted to thank them for doing that, because that's something that we're hoping to see a lot more of. Agenda item 12 was the item to fill the vacancy created by Kristen Randall for JP, Justice of the Peace 8, the constable. And so I want to thank all 4 candidates that participated: Francisco Lopez, Deborah Martinez Garibay, Christopher Toth, and Caitlin Recker. I had the opportunity to watch the forum on March 8th, to have a chat with each one of them, and really have an opportunity to look over their resumes, because this is an important position and I wanted to do my due diligence. I also appreciate all of their enthusiasm and energy and want to thank each one for what they brought to the process. Based on all the information that I had in hand, I moved, and I believe Chair Bronson seconded the appointment of the most qualified candidate, in my opinion, and apparently everyone else's, Deborah Martinez Garibay. And so I look forward to working with her and just hearing about all of the resources that she's going to bring to the table for the constituents there in just Precinct 8. So the item passed 4-0 with 1 abstention, and that was Supervisor Christie. Agenda item 13, we moved towards option B. And this was the item that was trying to sort of resolve the issue that was created by our COVID leave, moving from COVID leave, like sick, to vacation. That was done administratively, and it sort of created this kind of conundrum of what do we do with people that have this vacation time that is in excess of what you can carry forward onto the next year. And we also still haven't quite addressed the situation created by the library and stadium districts and any other employees that were really furloughed for a significant period of time because they couldn't work because their locations were closed. So if you remember, there wasn't anything going on in the stadium district, Keno Sports Park, everything was closed because of COVID, and the libraries were closed. So the vast majority of those employees, while they had another option, it might not have been a full-time option, and it's really exhausted all of their sick, vacation, and leave. So option B, I'll go ahead and read it. I know that I did request that Pima County come up with a graphic, but basically what it says is it provides that the current process remains in effect, that no option be available for payout of leave while employed at Pima County. The 2023 expiration date for usage would be eliminated. So that amount of time, those hours would not convert to sick but remain in the employee's current pandemic leave bank. And so employees who leave the county would receive any remaining leave pay at their wage rate at the time of separation. But my concern was the dollar amount for the payout looked to be $4.4 million, and I don't think that that's really an equitable distribution of funds, based on the fact that if you're higher up in maybe a director level, or depending on what your position is here in Pima County, you were able to work from home more easily than some of our other employees. And so if you were forced to work because the nature of your job requires you're an essential worker and have to come in person, you were more likely to contract COVID. And so I wanted to make sure that was a little more equitably distributed, and so I was glad to see that pass, and it passed unanimously. And I want to thank HR and finance and benefits for working with our office to come up with what I think is a better compromise than the original proposal. The next one, the other item that I want to just give a little bit of information out and an update is the pandemic update. And so because that was, COVID leave and COVID pandemic related, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little update here. So the COVID-19 cases are falling each week from the historic high of 17,992 cases the week of January 9th, right when Omicron was really attacking our community. The first week of March, we're down to 678, and that number continues to go down. So this is welcome. We're headed in the right direction, but it's still higher than our lowest point of 244 cases the first week of June 2021. And so while I am glad to see this direction going in the right direction, more things are happening in person as graduations are coming up for our high school students and our U of A and promotions for U of A and Pima. I want to make sure that we keep in mind that the pandemic is not over. We're just transitioning into what's going to look like an endemic, and that don't throw your masks away because we'll most likely need them. I continue to wear my mask during the board meeting today because I attended a lot of events in the last week, and I'm around people who are immunocompromised. And so while I still, everyone seemed comfortable that wasn't wearing a mask, there were also a number of us that were. And I want to make sure that our Pima County and our community continues to welcome people who want to wear a mask. And if someone asks you to wear a mask, please be kind and do it. And that was the message from President Robbins, and I appreciated it when I was listening. So we continue to have a lot of testing, but not as high. And I wanted to say that our positivity rate peaked that same first week in January, about 28%. So of all of the tests being conducted, 28% of those were coming back positive. It's now dropped to 7% the last week of February and continues to go down in the right direction. So I'm glad to see that. Item number 20 was initial court appearances. I requested that the item come back at our next meeting and with more information. My concern is this: the system of cash bail is not working. The system that we have of initial appearances being kind of conducted by retiree misdemeanor judges is not providing the consistency our community needs with people that commit some fairly serious crimes but are allowed out on cash bail. And on the flip side, you have people that are really can't afford to pay for them and are committing more minor crimes but are being detained in our jails. So there has to be some revamping of this. And this item number 20 requested approval of a 10-year extension for an intergovernmental agreement between Superior Court, Justice Court, and the City Court. And not only is this program not working right now, but it's also not working, and I don't want to extend it for another 10 years. And so just as a reminder, we had former Deputy County Attorney Amelia Kramer come to the board and talk for about 10 minutes on why cash bail is not working. We've had our county attorney, Laura Conover, say the same thing. Sheriff Nanos was on the news a week and a half ago talking about how our cash bail system is not working. And our TPD Chief Chad Kazmar was interviewed as being incredibly frustrated because somebody that should have been detained and not allowed the option of cash bail was released and then was shooting at his officers 2 weeks later. So we definitely need this whole system revamped, and I was not going to vote in favor of that. So that'll be coming back in 2 weeks. Item number 34 was our county recorder was back to give information about the revised fee schedule and the request to reduce the fees and make it more accessible to the community. The thing that she kept saying, which I appreciated, is that the services of the recorder should be like services for the community, and we should not be making any more than what it costs to provide the service. And so based on their assessment, their move to make things more accessible online, and many of the items are available free of charge, it didn't make sense to continue to charge so much to people who needed an image of something, especially if you can get an image online. So that item passed 4-1, and I appreciate her patience in coming back repeatedly to provide that information. So our next meeting is Tuesday, April 5th. I want to encourage our community to come out. or write in for call to the audience. It'd be great to hear from you. We have World Water Day. This office is working in partnership with the U of A on Tuesday, March 22nd to host a teach-in on World Water Day. So I hope you can join us for that. We're also doing a river cleanup on Saturday, March 26th at 9 a.m. We're working with Ward 1 and Tucson Clean and Beautiful in honor of World Water Day. And we'll be meeting at Congress and Bonita at the Garden of Gethsemane. So I hope I said that correctly. But one other little update I'd like to provide you is that young people between the ages of 14 and 21 can apply for a summer job. And so the deadline to apply is March 18th. There's information on our website and our social media sites, but you can call 520-724-9639 for more information. Thank you for your interest in Pima County politics. Have a good day, friends.